Hi, everybody. I'm State Senator John Damoose, and I'm here with Shaun Lamp, the president and CEO of Great Lakes Energy. And they've been working really hard since the beginning of this storm hit. And we're out right now at what they call Storm Camp, right?
Storm
Camp,
yes.
yeah. And it's just outside of Gaylord. And last night they had 1,080 workers from all around the country up here who are fanning out throughout the district right now. And tonight you're going to bring that number up to 1,200, 1,300.
12 to 1,300 beds we'll have tonight, yes.
That's amazing. Shaun, will you do me a favor for people who don't understand? Tell me a little bit about just how bad this storm was compared to other things we've seen.
This storm has been unprecedented, and I guess the best example I can give you, Senator, is that in a typical construction year, we replace about 800 poles. In the last 3 days, we've replaced 800 poles.
You know, the number one call I'm getting, and granted, this is like nothing we've ever seen, right? Because
Correct.
I keep getting people, well, why is it taking so long? Why is it taking so long? But somebody explained to me that this was not not a case of repairing the circuit, it's rebuilding, right? Tell me about that.
It is rebuilding. Typically when we have a storm come through, we're just going through and we're restoring because it's just the lines are coming down. With this storm, it's a complete rebuild because it's not just the lines, it's the poles coming down, and it's not just a couple of them. We estimate by the time we're all done with the rebuild, it's going to be over 2,000 poles we're going to have to replace.
Wow. And so let me ask this, and I've been one too. I've been critical, and I apologize for that. I just didn't understand. It just seems like this is going slower than what we're used to. But tell me about some of the efforts you guys have been making, because once you've shown me what you're doing, wow, okay, this is bigger than I thought.
Yeah, well, we've run into a lot of challenges because of the scale of what's going on. I mean, this storm camp is a prime example of it. Typically, when we have a storm restoration, we can just use local hotels and that type of stuff. We simply don't have the beds now to do that with hotels, so we had to bring the storm camp in. Materials is another big thing. We don't, as you can imagine, if we normally replace 800 poles in a year, we don't stock that many poles. So to try and do 2,000 poles in a short period of time, they're bringing them in and we're putting them in the ground just as fast as they can truck them in. So we're trying to yesterday they started using logging trucks so they can actually get the poles here fast enough for us.
That's amazing. Now, one thing I've heard is people say, well, I haven't even seen any Great Lakes trucks, but that doesn't matter because a lot of the guys who are working on your stuff aren't great. They're contractors, right? And their trucks will say something else, right?
Right. We have about 1,000 workers in market now, and most of those are not Great Lakes Energy trucks. So the majority of the trucks you're going to see out there won't say Great Lakes Energy. And honestly, if I'm out there looking at the trucks, I might not even know they're working for us because we have so many different contractors here. It's a full-time job for somebody to keep track of all of our contractors.
Let me ask you this too. Some people, I'm just trying to put myself in the mind of some of the consumers who I've spoken to who are just, people are getting cold. It's 10 days. It's winter still. It's tough. But I know that people are asking, well, there's one neighborhood I'm thinking of in particular where about a third of the neighborhood cropped on, and they're saying, well, what about my house? Why? Tell me, technically, there are technical reasons for that. Tell me what something like that might be.
Yeah, the reason for that is their different neighborhoods could be served by different circuits. So part of the neighborhood could be off of one circuit and the other part off another circuit. So as we do this, because of the level of destruction, it's just unprecedented, the level of destruction we have. So we're rebuilding all of those circuits, and we have to do them one by one. So we have multiple crews, and there may be one crew on one circuit, one crew on another circuit, but they're different paces, and the damage is different on each circuit. So as we go through, and we can rebuild one circuit, so you might see part of a neighborhood come online. The crews are still working on the other circuit to power the other half, but it might take a little bit longer to get that other circuit put back together.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, another one, obviously everybody would love to get, in a typical thunderstorm, sometimes you can get projections, we'll be off 4 hours or whatever like that. And I know you've been reluctant to do that because it's actually a good idea. I do the same thing. I like to underpromise and then over-deliver. But in this case, tell me a little bit, you were describing earlier that you're going to have 90% of the people, I can't remember the numbers you said, are going to be up, in the next several days, week or something like that. But the last 5% are going to take a while. Tell me a little bit, just so people know what to expect generally.
So as of today, right now, we're about 84% of our members are back in power. We're going to have our system substantially completed by the end of the day Tuesday. But there is going to be some members, because of the remoteness, the ruralness of our system, that's just going to take longer to get to, and the destruction is even more devastating as you get further out into our system. So it's going to take some more time, but we'll get most of our members put back on by the end of the day Tuesday, and then that last, whatever it's 5%, 10%, whatever that number is at the end, it'll take some more days to get that done. But our big thing is here, we're doing this all safely, and our crews, they're dedicated. They're not going to stop until we get everybody's power back on.
And let me just close with this, because it's amazing. You just told me you've seen so many people do so many heroic things. I mean, and everybody's paying the price here. You even said your wife is over here helping the here. Tell me a little bit about what your team is going through and what you've been able to do, and what's really impressed you about it.
It's really been amazing to watch our team come together. And then it's not just our team, it's family members from our team. Like you said, my wife is here. Multiple of our team has their spouses, their children here. And then being part of the co-op family Michigan, there is team members from every other co-op in the state that has come here to help us, and volunteers from the community. It's just been amazing watching everybody come together. It truly is a community effort to do all of this, and just watching everyone work together. And you see people doing things that they might not be something they normally do, but they're just diving in, and whatever they can do to help. Everybody's got the same focus. Let's get the power back on for everybody.
That's awesome. Thank you, Shaun.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out.
Keep up the good work. And to everybody back at home, I know it's getting long. Just what I keep telling people is remember this, that you are surviving one of the worst storms ever to have hit the state of Michigan, and that's something. Just hang on a few more days, and I know these guys are working as hard as they can, and we'll get you back up soon. Thanks a lot.